Last year, the American Investment Council partnered with EY to survey decision makers on what lies ahead for the private equity industry. The results of that survey were used to create a report called the Top 10 Private Equity Trends for 2016. Now that we're halfway through the year, it's a good time to assess how we did with our predictions. Our Q2 Trends report is the best way to do this. Our first prediction was that making investments would remain difficult in this high valuation environment.
Our most recent data supports that investments remain challenging due to high valuations. Investment levels this year are about the same as last year at $150 billion per quarter, but the number of deals have dropped.
This leads us to our second prediction, which is, although valuations will remain high, we expected them to stabilize or even dip slightly.
And that's exactly what we're seeing. Purchase price multiples were over 10 times EBITDA last year, and we recently saw a dip to 9.7.
It brings up the question, how are private equity acquisitions financed? We predicted that the equity contribution would increase in 2016. That's what we're seeing. As of Q2, equity contributions increased by 4 percentage points. We haven't seen this level of equity contributions since just after the financial crisis.
At the other end of the fund life cycle, we expected that exits would plateau and IPOs would fall significantly. Exits have remained high at about $150 billion so far this year. IPOs, on the other hand, averaged $6 billion per quarter last year. This year, we're seeing about a third of that volume.
While it's important to understand what the metrics mean, and on their own, they may seem interesting, we also need to understand what the trends mean for the private equity industry. Viewed together, we're seeing a shift in the investment cycle from focusing on exits and fundraising to putting that capital to work. While valuations remain high and firms have a record amount of dry powder and still competing for the same deals, we expect as we move into 2017 and markets begin to perceive less uncertainty, we'll see a pickup of investment activity by private equity managers.